Hello and welcome to the video. I'm Jimmy the Mower and today we're going to be changing the blades on this Toro Timemaster. Okay then, so here we start. As you can see, we've pressure washed this off. We haven't cleaned it very well, but we just pressure washed it off just so we can see what we're looking at. Now, this machine's been brought to me for a set of new blades, and the problem was the blades didn't turn, right? So when you look at these things, you've got to try and work out what's what. There's a little inspection cover on the top, which you take off and you have a look in there, and the timing belt was all fine. So I presume that it's got to be one of the blade washers on there, or spacers. They've got little shear pins in. And you turn it over and you think, well, that's all fine, there's no bother, but I'll turn these round. Now, as we turn them round, you can see the blades are banging together, right? So they're broke, they've hit something and they've took the shear pins off. And if you look closely, you can see in there that they're fine. And I can see, you probably won't see from that distance, but I can see there's some little holes in there. So we'll take these blades off, we'll have a look at the washers that sit behind them, and we'll have a look at the shear pins on there. Now, we copper slip these when we put them together, so they should come away quite easily, which they do. And if they do get stuck, you can always use a bit of this bulldog release spray or penetrative spray. You just put it on there, both sides, leave it soak in for a while, maybe overnight if you want, and it'll do the treat and release everything. Now, I'll take this off. There's a long thread on here. Right then, we've got the bolt there that goes through. That's all in good order, no problem, not rounded off or anything on the top. And the washer that sits behind it, that's all in good order as well. No bother with that, so that's down there. Next we've got the blade. The blade, it's not a bad blade really, there's still like a fair edge on there. You can see these little vented bits at the back. These chop the grass up. It's a mulching mower, so they chop the grass up. And then this is the bit we're after. This is the blade holder, blade spacer, blade. This is the blade boss itself, but this is a holder or spacer, depending on what you call them, where you're from in the world. Now this comes off as easy as that, and we hold it down, and I can hold it up to the camera like that, and we can see on there. There's two little pins, one there and one there, right? Now, they sit into the blade and they offer you some protection. This blade spacer and washer is made of quite strong material, right? On the back, we've got two little lugs, here and here, and they fit in to the boss up here. And they turn and they drive the mower, right? The washer in the middle is made of hard material. These are made of softer material, both sides, right? And if you have any problem, you hit something like they did with this mower, hit a piece of ironwork, I think, on the floor, and what will happen is the blade will hit that, the engine will keep turning, and the blade will just jam, and it will spin so fast that it will push and it will take those off, right? So it saves the drive belt, the crankshaft, everything else. It saves that. That's what they're for. They're an insurance policy. So if you ever take these off and they're damaged, do not, and I mean do not, weld them back up like some people do, because next time you hit something, it's curtains. Okay? Right. Lecture over. Let's get the other blade off. Okay, that's that blade off. Right, we can see on there's a big kink, like right in the middle of that blade there. That's where they've hit whatever they've hit with it, right? And then we can see on here, we've got the lugs at the back. They're fine, there and there, right? They're all great, working well. But unfortunately, the ones on the front, look, have gone. We've just got two little indents, there and there, right? So there's the good one with the lugs on, the little bits there. Yeah, they're the shear pins, and there's the one with them missing off, right? I'll get a close-up photograph of those side by side so you can see the difference. I'm going to grab our new bits and pieces and we'll put it back together. I'll just have a quick wire brush around here and clean these bits up, because you do tend to get a bit of fishing line, hair, other bits and pieces just stuck behind these. So we'll clean them up and then we'll put the new blades on. Right, we've cleaned these off, put some copper slip on there. So you'll probably see they're slightly different colour. We've also put some copper slip on the bolts as well, so when they go in, we've got double on there. These mowers, they're sitting in wet, damp conditions all year, and dry, dusty conditions for some of the year as well, I should say. So, you know, unless you've got some grease in there, it's going to cause you some problems. You can put release spray in to get them out, which is great, but if you can put some copper in to start yourself off, that's even better. Now we've got to fit the blades, right? So we've got to work out how these go on. The easiest thing to do is keep the one that came off to hand. And then if you look on the back, we've got the circle on there, okay? It's easy to find out really, because you put them on, you turn it and you see which way the compression is on the engine. But just to do it quickly like this, you can see that's on the back. So if we get the new spacer, right, with the shear pins in, brand spanking new, you can see that next to the old one, look, brand new. So we'll put this on that side, and it fits in like so, and then we just put the blade on top. Now the blades are exactly the same, so they just fit whichever side you want to go on. So put the blade on top, and that's exactly how it will fit, okay? So we just take that blade off, put this one on, and that's how it goes. Clips in, and it just goes on here. Now then, these little bits on the back, these bits here, they locate either side of there. Again, we've got copper slip on there because we don't want them to seize on. We don't want these to seize onto there and us have to chisel them out at the end. So we'll put this on, like so. Get one of the bolts, thread it in. It should go in all right. Now, first blade on is fine. I must just say, if you're in the UK, we're using a 16mm socket on there. America and some other places in the world, you probably use a 5/8. They're pretty much the same socket, so they'll fit in there. Just depends what you've got in your toolbox. But don't put too much pressure on and round it off, because one of these rounded off is a real pain. So we'll just give that a little nip up. We don't want to go too tight just yet. This is the interesting bit, the setting the blades. Remember when this came in, we're turning around, they're banging together, clonk. Now, to set these blades, the timing on these is easy. 12 and 6, 3 and 9. That's all you need to remember. It's as simple as that. Again, we'll put this on so it goes the right way round. Fits in like so. Okay, we know that because it fits exactly the same way as that one would on there. Okay, so that fits like that. And again, this goes in. And that fits in there. Like so. Okay, now you can see already that that's the timing, look. 12 and 6, 9 and 3. Probably not quite dead on, but if I move the one, it'll move the other. Right, we've got the timing belt intact. As easy as that. We'll just tighten this one up. And now we're getting tight. You turn one, they both turn, and they miss all the way around. Just turn them around a couple of times just to make sure. Yeah, that's great. Now they're actually going in reverse. They're not cutting grass, that's reverse. We don't put it the other way around because you're putting compression on the engine. Even though we disconnected the spark plug before we started, you can still fire it up. So we just turn them the other way around. If they're not going to hit that way, they're not going to hit the other way. Now, all we've got to do is tighten these up. And again, we don't need to go too tight. It's handy with these because the blade's over there. This serrated bit, there's like a nice lip that runs down there that you can hold on to. Some people put a block of wood in there or something else and try and lean against it. I think if you're doing that, the temptation is to go too tight. And you don't need to go tight. They've got to be done up and they've got to be, you know, they've got to have a bit of something behind them, but they don't be too tight because you're going to cause yourself problems. Right, that's it. The blades are changed. It was as simple as that, eh? A 16mm or a 5/8 socket, whip them off, make sure you grease them up. Change these anyway, you know, even if you've had it for a couple of years and they seem all right, just change them because they do get weak. And you go through all of this, you put some nice new blades on. And what happens is, if these are weak over a few seasons or a few years, one of those shear pins will go, the blade will spin round and it will hit the other one and it will take a chunk out. Now, with this blade that we've got here, we can probably save this one. We can take a bit of it off each edge and balance it up again and it'll be a spare. But this one with a big chunk out, by the time we've took it back to there, it's not going to work properly. So that's it. Nice, quick, simple video. Easy way to change the blades on your Toro Timemaster. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you can. We've got loads and loads more videos for you to watch. Anything nice to say, pop it in the comment section below. I'm Jimmy the Mower. I'll catch you on the next one.